Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
Balenciaga finally addresses its controversial campaign. Did this high fashion ad with teddy bears sexualize kids?
Welcome to DBL. Okay, so some of our viewers has brought this to our attention. We've been talking about it, but we're actually going to dive in today. We're starting with a very big controversy. Balenciaga, the luxury fashion house, well, they're apologizing now for two different ad campaigns. The first ad features kids with plush teddy bear bags. Okay, you're looking at it right there. But the bears appear to be dressed in bondage-inspired outfits. Now, the second ad featured products in an office environment, but this one included papers from a Supreme Court case involving child pornography. Balenciaga is apologizing, saying the ads with the plush bear bags should have never featured children. They also explain that the documents in the other ads were provided by a third-party company that promised all the office documents were fake, but in fact were not. So Balenciaga is now suing that company for $25 million. A lawyer for the company says Balenciaga representatives were present during the photo shoot and they signed off on everything that was included. Tori, what do you think of these ad campaigns, the ones specifically featuring the children with the bondage bears? Tell me, what are you thinking?
First of all, I don't believe for a second Balenciaga didn't see that and have to approve every little detail of that. And if
the Supreme Court?
No, the baby picture with the harnesses. And if you look more at it, there's wine glasses, there's like belts, there's like harnesses for S&M. I don't believe for a second they didn't understand that and they wanted to provoke, in my mind. I don't think the kids themselves are in child pornographic imagery, but I think they're holding what is pornographic. So putting those two things together, especially on a teddy bear, which is all about innocence, is in very weird way suggesting a sexualization of the child holding it. That mixed with child trafficking, child abuse, in this day and this social climate, I don't know what they were thinking, but it's not good.
What about you, Al?
I think they were looking to see how far they could push it.
Yeah, I think they were trying to be provocative.
There's something that's called hiding in plain sight, and it's you put your views out there. And I mean, when you go as far as to have just the papers, because we can go back and forth about the teddy bears, and obviously that is linking children with an adult sexual activity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's there. To me, there's no gray area, but that could be argued on their end, an artistic merit or whatever they would use. But the child pornographic, the Supreme Court papers. There's no mistake. You had to search for those. I wouldn't even know how to get those on the
U.S.
internet
v. Williams?
without getting arrested for looking up child porn. That is a deliberate act, and that was done in a way to kind of, you know, you always hear that like certain students will be like, I don't think my teacher reads my paper, so I just put something weird at the end of the essay to see if they catch it. That's what they were doing, but that was an inside joke saying, look what we get a chance to get away with. Look how dumb these people are. And why would you be focusing on this, Jeff? Please explain this to me, because I sure as hell don't know.
Well, there is a little bit more, and then we're going to get Jeff's point of view. Okay. Several high-profile celebs regularly work with Balenciaga. Kim Kardashian spoke out against the ads featuring the plush bear bag, saying, quote, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. She also said, I am currently re-evaluating my relationship with the brand. But then there's Nicole Kidman, who was featured in one of these ad campaigns. She has not said anything at this point. Some people are calling her out because of her silence. So here's the question. Are stars required to speak out in situations like this? And do you think speaking out is enough? Or should they cut ties with Balenciaga completely? Jeff?
They should cut ties. Where's the outrage? I'm going to go off for a minute here, because where is the outrage? It's been a week and a half, and now we're doing this story. I get it. Thanksgiving was happening and all that. But they tried to hide behind that, right? Maybe this will make it through the news cycle. No, it's not, okay? Adidas didn't cut ties 48 hours after Kanye did his whole thing, right? And they got lambasted for not speaking out against anti-Semitism. This is a week and a half, and nobody seems to care that there's little kids involved in this. I can't speak what it's like to be a black man, right? I can't speak what it's like to be a Jewish woman, but I can speak what it's like to be a father of two young boys. And that this type of behavior, when I worked at CBS.com out of a little closet in my first show, I was like, I'm going to say this and wear a blue shirt. I got 49 emails saying, maybe wear a purple shirt and maybe don't say this here. Don't tell me this slipped through the cracks when you're getting a court case that features child pornography. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. Jeopardy's got to flip their whole production because of one person said something, but they wanted to be woke and do all that. How many other examples are there? 10, 20, 30, 40 years we're going back to cancel people? But this slips through the cracks. It's outrageous. And that people aren't outraged and skipping work with their posters and going to the courthouse or going to Balenciaga, and stars aren't wiping their Instagram and social media with all their Balenciaga gear is disgusting in itself. Don't you tell me, Hollywood, how to live my life, or you want me canceled, or because you produce something. You're gonna go around because Balenciaga pays you $1 million, $2 million, $5 million. Kim Kardashian, shame on you. You're a billionaire. You don't need this company. They need you. And for you to take a week and a half to come to a conclusion, shame on you.
Well, she claims, I agree with everything you said, and thank you for that passionate speech. I feel the same way. In fact, your wife's the one that brought this whole disgusting campaign to, I don't even want to call it campaign, let's call it criminal. It's, in my opinion, I don't know if they're going to face criminal, any sort of charges, but they should. This is child pornography, in my
okay,
opinion.
but let's separate that. I really want to be clear. I don't want to stand up for child pornography. I don't want to be that person on this panel, so I just want to say that out loud. But child pornography is when you have children in naked or doing pornographic things. The children themselves, I want to be clear, were not pornographic. They were holding things
but they're placed
that were incredibly inappropriate.
Yeah, but they're placed in very inappropriate pornography environment, pornographic environments. To me, like, go ahead.
Can I keep going on? Because this photographer specifically that took these pictures has a past, okay? He takes pictures of naked little kids. So by saying these kids aren't in any danger is a misstatement, because they are in danger with this guy. He had to pull up that document. That's sick. That's going to another level. Balenciaga put his book on their website that was filled with pictures of naked children. This isn't a one-off.
This is criminal charges.
This is two separate ads. This is two separate ads with them putting his book on their website. Don't tell me Balenciaga this slipped through the cracks. But you want to cancel? I don't know where my head is at, because if I said something 10 years ago, people need to fire me. But if you take pictures with little kids and saying that they're somehow involved in child pornography, let's talk about it a week and a half later.
Let's look at the industry in general, though. Let's look at, like, Corey Feldman, who's come out, and Elijah Wood, is that the other actor that's come out saying that in Hollywood, as young boys, they were molested and they were sexually assaulted as young boys. I don't remember anything happening after that movement.
They were silenced and mocked.
Shamed. They were shamed for that.
So this is a bigger issue, to Jeff's point, than a lot of people are giving it credit to. And I think criminal charges should be on the table. I agree with you, Jeff, tenfold. As far as Kim Kardashian goes, what I did want to say before we got into a different sidebar is that Kim said the reason why she waited so long is because she wanted to actually talk to them and talk to her lawyers and figure out exactly who is culpable before she went out publicly.
Why couldn't Kanye use the same statement? Why couldn't he say that? I need to really cross my T's and dot my I's before I came out with a statement. They had demanded a statement, and then Adidas fired him, and there was outrage. I cannot believe there's no outrage for child pornography.
There is outrage, but you're saying in comparison.
And again, I don't think, okay, we'll go to break.
We'll be right back. We're going to continue the conversation on our YouTube, so make sure you go to our YouTube.
No. The book that they posted his work on their website.
The panel really hard, and we just want to keep talking about it, and we talk about it in the back. We absolutely feel this strongly about it.
You know, like your lookbook, if you're a photographer, you have a lookbook.
But there are some artistic books with children that are nude, that are not pornographic. Think about paintings of, like, the Romans, the children.
I don't care if he painted the Sistine Chapel.
Thank you.
If you're doing things with little kids, why can't I be outraged? Everyone's been outraged for the last 2 years. I can't be outraged for one day?
No, I would have to.
But everyone's like making excuses, like, oh, he has artwork in the Guggenheim. I don't care. I don't care if he has artwork in the Guggenheim.
Here, I can try. Here. I think I can try and, like, turn it on and off. Maybe that's the thing. See, feel right here, honey. You feel right there. You can kind of just make sure. Oh, I heard something. Yep, I do. We're good.
I love that there's some passion around this. I've been, do you remember I was texting you guys about a show that I was watching that was a kid show that person has now been summarily fired. I can hear you. Yeah, and I thought that was inappropriate. I've always thought toddlers and tiaras was very inappropriate. I just think that the hypersexualization of children has been going on, and it has been socially acceptable for some reason or another for a long time. And I do not understand. Like, there are things that just, like, glancing at it, you're like, what? Why is that little girl in that pose? Why is she have lipstick on it?
Yes.
And everybody's like, it's a popular show.
I don't know. It's just defending this sexualization of young kids that are innocent and that their
Well, why
lives.
don't we ever talk about the Corey Feldman and Elijah Wood
The
case?
pedophilia ring.
Nobody ever talks about that.
Because I think that there's so many people involved, Sam, it would blow your mind. It's
disgusting.
Because
It's like the Epstein
it's so many people. How many people had to be complicit in the Larry Nassar situation?